to watch Battlegrounds, drink some Diet Pepsis, and talk about the Ascension.
I'm not angry. What the?
The longest-running weekly overproduced, under-talented, episodic, sometimes echoing, often infighting wrestling podcast. And welcome to Tuesday Night Smackdown. I know those of you that are watching on YouTube just saw a slide that said you have a new host for Tuesday's Roadie Rob, because that's what our executive producer does. He only does his job when it matters for him, and he didn't erase it on the show that he's not even hosting. But I am not alone. I do have my cohort, Bionic Mark Bryan. What's going on, buddy?
Of course, I wasn't on. Of course, there you go.
No, you were on.
Every fucking
you missed your cue.
Every fucking time.
Oh
every
God!
Fucking... What's up,
Here we
everybody?
go.
How are you? Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
And on our board, which is YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, our chat board tonight, we got Captain Obvious over there, Perfect 11, Bang Bus, Teddy is here, Juan is here. I thought I saw some others. Let me look. Kevin from Texas. I was talking to him. He was asking if I'm a heel or face.
You?
Yes.
Complete heel.
I said that I was a heel to the studio crew, and I'm a hero to the masses.
The studio crew?
Yes.
Ah. Ooh.
In studio, you get what I mean.
Gotcha.
Here, like
Yeah.
you.
I
I'm
thought you meant like the crew that like is like helping us produce this.
Oh, the guy who left the slide that said it was a new host to have a big explosion in the middle of the damn screen as the show started. Yeah, that guy. The same guy who, though, at least has the graphic up there before we get into tonight's reaction to, let's see, February 19th edition of Smackdown. Before we get into that, hashtag MOWP Big Five. We're going to be discussing the 5 greatest U.S. champs all time. Get your whatever it is, your input in there, your vote out there. Put it out on social media with that hashtag. Twitter, we are at Smart Mark Show. Facebook, Marked Out. Email, markedoutpodcast@gmail. Twitter, Marked Out Podcast. What I missed? IG,
Markedoutwrestling.
There you go.
Markedoutwrestling.
If you're not following us on one of them, chances are you probably aren't listening to this, so we don't. It won't matter anyway. But if you want to tell a friend, do it. Get out there and get involved in this conversation. High Off Gas is here. Welcome. That's everything I got to open with. Brian, are you ready to get down to the nitty-gritty?
Dude, I am. This was a good episode of Smackdown, I got to say.
I agree. We're going to have fun.
What you need to make a good Smackdown is your 3 key ingredients.
Part-time Rob. That's exactly right. That's why nobody likes Rob. He's part-time.
Part-time? Rob's
Yeah.
not part-time. How can he be part-time? You're part-time. I'm part-time.
We're
all part-time. We're all part-time,
I'm
brother.
part-time. Check the fucking tape, man. I haven't missed a show
Excuse me.
in forever, man.
That's true. You have not missed a show.
You missed like a month. I was even on the show that you and I fucked up that was only on air for 2.5 minutes.
Oh, when Rob wasn't here?
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
I was even on that episode, you know. And then, of course, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but Rob walked in and hit like 3 buttons, and we were all fixed.
Yeah,
But,
fix it in like 2 seconds.
tonight's ingredients, we're going to talk about on loan. Those are these weird superstars. We're not even sure who they're on loan from. Topic number 2, break the bar. Number 3, high in the fast lane. Number 4, I used you. Number 5, not ready for Mandy. And then number 6, we're going to talk a little bit about NXT. We have our second edition after the break and the awards. We have our second edition of Wrestler or Porn Star that Brian is going to try and stump me with. Remember last week, I edged out the victory. Remember? 3-2.
You did. I just enjoy that people were getting mad at me that I was just naming male porn stars. Like, what? Why is that wrong? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Right?
more likely than, females. I don't know. It's it's
maybe
crazy.
maybe I'll switch it up. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Anyway, Number one is going to be on loan. So the start of the show, Shane comes out, and I wanted to make sure, I kind of watched it a second time to make sure I got the wording right here. He says that these superstars did such a good job in their debut last night that he was bringing them back tonight. And to me, those are two contradicting things. Like, he was saying that their debut, and then he was saying that he's bringing them back like they were just on loan. So that kind of confused me. Are they actually called up or not?
I guess, are we going to have to wait until next week? But there actually is something that we didn't discuss, is that NXT is announcing that they have some major announcement for tomorrow.
They fucking better. They just
So
I quickly I just was looking at the draft classes that came up each year.
Yeah.
Counting tag teams as one. The draft class of 17 had 7 people. The draft class of 18 had 7 people. Already in 2019, we have had 9, if you count these latest 4. 2019 already, we have 9 call-ups. They better have an announcement because they gutted the damn thing. We're going to talk about that in Topic 6, the kind of extra ingredient of the night. But this one is primarily, since Topic 2, we're gonna talk about these other debuts. This one is primarily about Aleister Black, specifically how he is following his debut on NXT.
Oh, yeah.
His first match at TakeOver was against Elias.
Yep.
His next match at a TakeOver was against Andrade.
And his wife ringside right there. I mean, how special.
I think that's when they started dating.
Could
Is
be.
that first time he fought Andrade.
Could be.
Not when they were battling for the title the
Right.
first time.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Great match. It's still just interesting that, I mean, you brought it up before about whether or not they're going to be sticking around or if this is just kind of like a flash in the pan. They're trying to get people, maybe new eyes on the product. Who knows? But there's no way. I just feel like you can't bring these guys up and just to tease everyone and then bring them back down to NXT. I feel like they're going to be either I don't fucking know what they're going to do, man.
What about Bang Bus's suggestion?
What's
He
that?
says, what if NXT is part of this shakeup and they get some guys back? Like maybe Kurt Hawkins goes down.
Maybe like Tyler Breeze,
Ty Dillinger.
sure.
Bo Dallas. We'll get rid of the dead weight and put him on the touring NXT circuit. I don't know. I seriously doubt that's happening. I'm
Right.
joking.
I gotcha.
don't mean any disrespect to any of those guys that are poorly booked. It says, according to the Fightful, they said they're going to appear on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT like Sasha and Kevin Owens did. I didn't remember Sasha did, but I'm not a big women's fan. Kevin Owens definitely pulled double duty.
Oh, yeah.
With the title, and then eventually lost it. I think, didn't he lose it to Finn, and then he won the U.S. from John Cena or something right afterwards.
Something like that. I mean, look, they already have fucking Gargano and Ciampa watching TV sideways. They're definitely going to be sticking around on the roster.
And where the hell is everybody else?
On vacation, man.
Yeah, is that what everybody else? If you're not jobbing out to NXT people, then
Yeah.
you're just off. Perfect 11 says Ciampa, Gargano, and Black are all scheduled to be on the Mania Takeover weekend. Can they really be called up at this point? Yeah, they'll pull double duty, just like we talked about with Kevin Owens. When you're the champ, you can't just leave and drop the title.
Yeah. Plus, it's just going back to fucking Orlando. It's not like you have to travel around or
Right.
do some sort of grueling schedule.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you want to go work out at our gym in PC? I'm sure you have a residence there.
Right.
Like
Plus,
a little apartment
yeah,
or
these
studio
NXT
apartment.
guys, they're all going to be local in the Orlando area anyway, so I'm sure it's no sweat to them.
Yeah, and I'm sure WWE probably owns an apartment complex or something where, hey, we got plenty of places for you to stay. You don't even have to be in a hotel.
Smackdown Hotel.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. Right.
Sasha was on Raw when she was NXT champion, Stike says. Okay, check the tape. I had no clue. Why would I know that? What if the first steps toward Adam's NXT versus WWE angle? Cashmere said. Thank you, Cashmere. I'm glad you remember that. I said this when Samoa Joe first debuted, is when I said it, that Triple H, when he announced that this was his destroyer, and then right after that, he anointed Kevin Owens the new champion, not Seth Rollins after Finn had to vacate.
Right.
I thought that was the building of some new faction, some internal, this is NXT, kind of these are my boys thing. Kashmir joining us on the board, he remembers that because it's a true invasion angle from a lot of different standpoints. And, you know, there has been the Shane versus Vince, father versus son. Well, here's sort of father versus son if Hunter were to go against Vince. In a kayfabe way.
It is.
Yeah, nothing's going to change up in Greenwich. But in a kayfabe way, that would be really cool. And you could add the McMahons in a little bit of a feud.
Can you just keep the McMahons out of it, though?
No, but
they're always involved in everything.
I'm saying have them contained with themselves.
No, I know. I get it. My whole thing, as much as I want to see that, and I think that would be an awesome just situation, just having, you know, the Raw guys against some of the NXT guys that you wouldn't really think would have a matchup. My thing is that I just don't know how you go back from that, because let's remember NXT, that's their you know, their breeding ground, really. So how do you go from them having like this brand that's going to overtake them just to go back to just being like their developmental? From a storyline standpoint, that would be hard to build.
You know what? I know we're going to react more to the rest of SmackDown here, but we're on this discussion, and I want to say it now. Look at what they lost in such a short time. In the beginning, when they were just getting started and NXT was making a name for himself, they quickly lost, you know, Seth, KO, Banks, Becky,
Ascension,
Charlotte,
the
Ascension, Dallas, Big E, Xavier Woods. A lot of guys just quickly left. Then you had a class like 16 with Bailey, Apollo, Baron, Enzo and Cass, Sammy, Finn. You get a class like 17 with Joe, Revival, Shin, Elias, and Bobby Roode. 18, you had the Authors of Pain. Who cares? Sanity, terribly booked. No Way Jose, gimmick not being used right. Iconics, okay. Ember, isn't she injured? Drew McIntyre screwed, and Andrade. Already this year, Heavy Machinery, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, Ricochet, technically Lars Sullivan, EC3, Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, and Ciampa.
Well, I wouldn't count Lars.
But obviously, reading the overall classes of everything I just read, this is a very strong class.
Absolutely.
Pull Lars out, I don't care.
Yeah.
Pull him out. Very strong class. You could lose, at this point, Lacey for sure, and maybe EC3 and the way Nikki are being booked. You could toss them aside and still have a very strong class. My point being is they have a way of filling these spots, but can they fill so many at once, Brian?
Are you mean on SmackDown or on NXT?
I'm on NXT.
On NXT, yes. I do believe so. There is so much talent on the roster right now that guys are just kind of they're just waiting for their spot. And remember last night I brought it up about the whole thing with Matt Riddle and him just being very open about guys in NXT just waiting to kind of take those positions on the quote unquote main roster. Plus him saying that he calling, you know, the WWE their television product on Mondays and Tuesdays kind of watered down kid stuff. I just lost my train of thought, but I can to answer your question. I do see a lot of you're not going to run out of talent in NXT. That's not a problem for them.
And they could find it from all sorts of avenues. Like Matt Riddle came from a mixed martial arts background.
Sure.
You know, so they're not just pigeonholed to finding a Ring of Honor, NJPW, or somebody from an unknown.
But what
coming
I think,
through, they can even find these from other sports. Fucking Baron was NFL guys. Tons of guys are NFL guys.
That's the problem, though. I think what they're learning is that you can't take guys just because they're athletic in a different sport. You can't just make them like. Oh yeah. You can't just push them into a wrestling ring and be like, okay, you're a professional wrestler now.
Football, they've had a ton of success.
Yes,
you know they have.
But I think that's also why they've
had a ton of failures, Mojo Rawley. But
we're trending to the smaller guys that have a passion for the business. Those are the ones that are going to stick around, and those are the ones that are going to last.
So it'll be interesting. I've been lax on my NXT coverage lately, but I'm gonna have to check there. They're talking about push Trevor Lee.
Carolina Caveman, baby.
I don't know about Trevor Lee. I'd say push Keith Lee.
Both of them. Push all the Lees.
Yeah. But,
AJ Lee. Bruce Lee. Who gives a fuck?
But I think Keith is something special down there. I hope this is an opportunity for him. I hope we don't see what's that
Leockley.
Fake. He's like Keanu Reeves in The Rock.
Kona Reeves.
Yeah,
You had it. You had it.
yeah. I was close. Yeah, I hope I don't see him. But they'll always be replacing talent down there. My segue here to end this topic.
Fuck,
Brian,
they just signed ACH, man. Come on.
But again, what do they do here at the end? Now there is not enough to go around on the main roster. I feel
definitely not.
There's a lot of fat to be trimmed. Is there a lot of future endeavors coming up? I mean, we know some of the bigger names like Nakamura are probably going to go. Are they going to really trim the fat? Like, will we see the B team disappear? Will we see Harper go away? Maybe like
Harper, yes. B team. I mean, where do you see them going?
I mean, a house show rotation. Like, I mean, what are they going to do?
No, I mean, as far as outside of WWE, you think they're really going to like? I mean, I know they have name recognition and all that, and especially Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas being generational wrestlers and blah blah blah. But they're very WWE built.
Yeah, Bang Bus is asking me how many matches I've watched of Keith Lee. 1 or 2. More like 6 or 7. I mean, just to be completely honest, I haven't watched a ton, but I haven't seen anything I didn't like, including a loss that he's already had on NXT. So
that's right. Kushida is apparently NXT bound as well.
Well, there's another good announcement for that card. There'll be some interesting stuff there.
On the board, Stike is saying, he says, send some of the main roster back to NXT who actually needs it, kind of like what you said before.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Kashmir says maybe they're calling up NXT talent, hoping to find the next Roman. Kashmir, I would think they're trying to find, in my opinion, the next type Kevin Owens type.
Kevin Owens.
I know I said that fucking horribly,
That's okay.
but
It's okay.
I think they're trying to find their next Kevin Owens.
Gotcha.
Because Roman Reigns, no matter what you want to say of him, was a product of booking. John Cena, Goldberg, product of booking. You can argue their talent level all day long, but they were booked in positions that allowed them to get the success that they got. Anybody can be booked that way and become that level. It's the guys that go a different route and get there. The Jerichos, hell, the Hunters. Who would have thought when Hunter debuted that Hunter would be relevant 25 years later?
Well,
I mean, fuck, who thought he would survive the Click, Brian?
True. No, that's true.
It's
true.
See,
true.
And that stupid blue blood gimmick he had at the beginning was very, very terrible.
Yeah, I mean, even going back before that too. So I mean, yeah but let's not forget the one little shortcut that maybe got him there. But I digress.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Number 2, Break the Bar.
Good timing.
Ciampa, Gargano, not so DIY, but whatever you want to call it. They're singles champions. Going against the Bar, funny thing that Cesaro said, he said, hey, Shamey, come here. Look, it's bring your NXT superstar to work day. That made me chuckle to start it off. We legit thought, and I'm sure everybody knows the spot, we legit thought Ciampa was out another 9 months to a year. The way Sheamus came down on, I mean, Sheamus, this was gravity. Sheamus had no control. But the way he landed on his knee specifically, and in the replay, the way it bent, I know this was a decent match. I thought it was a very good match, but I want to talk about the way Ciampa collected himself to get the tag and was on the ground for 5 minutes at least.
He was outside of the ring for a while.
Yeah,
we legit thought that he was fucked up.
Yeah, I don't think that was an intentional injury spot. I think that they
ran with it, and plus,
and figured it out.
Probably he needed a little bit of time to kind of make sure that all of his fucking ligaments were intact. And
you saw the ref talking to him, and you saw the other guys probably calling a little bit of audibles. But I'm glad he's not injured. He clearly, when he makes the save for Gargano, if anyone of the other three didn't know, Brian, that he was not hurt, what happens there? Gargano gets pinned by the bar. Ciampa's out 9 months because he didn't make the save, and the whole thing.
All just to fucking just flash him on SmackDown for no real reason.
Well,
unless they stick around.
Cesaro working with either guy was a good enough reason for me. I like the exchanges. Even Sheamus was good in his spots. I don't have much to say other than I was glad Ciampa didn't get injured, and I really enjoyed the match. They've debuted now, beating the champs on one show and the team that was champs 2 champs ago. I don't know if I said any of that right.
No, I got you.
What's on the board before we move on?
Well, tonight's win was a little bit more of a fluky type of thing anyway. It's not like DIY was like dominating them the entire time. Ciampa had a little roll up, and then they kind of escaped. Personally, I think it was because they were wearing that purple. That fucking purple didn't do them any favors.
Anytime they dress like the Dudleys, they lose.
I mean, yeah, it was.
It was the Dudleys camo is what it always makes me think of.
A little bit, yeah.
I know theirs was blue, not purple, but I always associate that.
And their kilt, I don't think their kilt wasn't camo. Their kilt was just straight up fucking lavender. Anywho, on the board, let's see. Stike is just saying that spot where Ciampa hurt his knee. I don't know if it was kayfabe or not, but that was nasty. Yeah, exactly what we were saying. Mika Meech, hey, what's up, Mika Meech? Good storytelling from Ciampa. Yeah, I mean, he sold the shit out of it. And, I mean, just even as, like, just little as just because we weren't sure if he actually was hurt or not, but him just being on the outside of the ring and not even standing on the apron. He was just on the outside, just rolled out. And
for a while, when the crowd turned their heads, we thought EMTs might be treating him because they made sure the camera didn't go over anywhere near him. So we thought, seeing them all rubbernecking, that something might have been up. I'm glad that it wasn't. Anything else before we move on?
No, I mean, they're just talking about other NXT people that could be relevant. Bang Bus is saying, I think Bo Dallas can make himself relevant outside of WWE like Juice Robinson. He has a badass heel beard. He does. I mean, it's not a great beard. I think it's kind of patchy, in my opinion.
I think Bang Bus is kind of patchy. He used to have like some good comments. Now he's just like, I think, trying to shoot too much.
Number 3,
poking the bear there. No, the topic is high in the fast lane. I say that because one of them's got a hemp belt and the other one is supposed to be fake Jamaican, but we do know he likes the ganj. High in the fast lane. Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, the announcement to close the show. Are they just giving into what the fans want? I know before we get too much into this topic, I read that they were going to have a returning guy be the opponent at WrestleMania
for
Daniel Bryan, which suggests Kevin Owens.
Could be.
Is this just Kofi's hot? Let's let it happen. Because to me, I feel it's a little bit forced because this will be the 3rd match of theirs in 6 weeks. It's too frequent.
What? So what? You have a problem if they have a match at Fastlane just because we've seen it already?
I mean, this is the first time for the title, so I get that.
Right.
I just think if it wasn't at Fastlane, there might be the drama that he's going to win, that there's a chance. The Elimination Chamber, I thought, would provide that because they could always undo it with Daniel winning it right back at Fastlane. Who cares if Daniel has an extra championship, reign? It's not like, his is good. You know what I'm saying? That
Sure.
wouldn't matter. Now that they're at Fastlane, there is nothing between Fastlane and Mania. There's no way to let – I don't think I'll believe the false finishes as much as I guess what I'm saying, Brian.
True. The whole thing that I think about watching Kofi and Daniel Bryan, what's fascinating to me is, like, where would Mustafa Ali fit in? Like, he was the one that was originally supposed to be in this spot, right? Now, if he didn't get hurt, if that whole thing didn't happen, do you think that he would be the one that's having this match against Daniel Bryan at Fastlane?
The amount of what ifs I could
I know there are a lot of what ifs.
in that
I know there are
sense
a
is
lot of
crazy.
what ifs, but I mean, does it really matter if it's Kofi or was this originally planned for Mustafa? That's just something that I
idea.
think about that keeps me up at night, brother.
No idea. Catbox joining us. For what it's worth, the hemp belt has plastic on the Velcro part, so it's not 100% organic, he says.
It could be like some sort of fucking like recycled plastic or.
Well, no, I also think that those fake jewels are plastic. That's not 100% organic. Plastic's not organic.
Well,
Perfect 11, they missed the opportunity to do something huge with those guys. It should have been Kofi and Bryan at Mania. Bryan should have faced Ali at Fastlane. Well, Ali got hurt, so who knows, again, what that could have been. And Perfect 11 says, Fastlane is arguably the least important, least consequential pay-per-view of the year.
Seriously. The go-home pay-per-view. The go-home pay-per-view of the year, right?
Well,
if Mania,
yes,
right?
Yes, but I would also argue that the Saudi shows are way more worthless.
That you are correct.
Yeah. So Cash says when Mustafa comes back, you can turn him heel, put him against Kofi. This angle could be that Kofi took his spot, and the only reason he's there is because he got injured.
Love it. And I don't even think you necessarily –
I do love it. Good job, Cash.
You don't necessarily have to turn Mustafa Ali heel. I mean, it's just natural for him to want to take that spot back, so he can just be that fighting just guy that just wants to have his place. You know,
Cashmere kind of finished the thought that I've echoed a couple days now on this podcast, but the whole Edge taking Kofi's spot in the only other chamber Kofi was booked in, they never exploited that. Kofi never would. He was a face, but he could have gone after Edge, been like, you took my freaking spot, man, and you won the title. That was mine. I could have done what you did or something. And Captain Obvious is now back with us after watching the Ciampa spot, and he says, yes, very cringy to watch. Is cringy a word? I don't care. It
is.
It describes it right. I just don't know. WCW sin was greater than the Saudi shows,
correct.
Says at Marked Out BT.
Yeah, at Marked Out Wrestling Podcast.
The Saudi shows are just warmer house shows. Perfect 11 says. High Off Gas joined us again. He says, did you say hi? I did, but now we're going to move on to the other two. Number 4, not ready for Mandy. Hey.
Yeah.
We're going to send out a girl to talk very weird. I can't remember, was it Charlie in the ring? But whichever interviewer it was, she talked in a very iambic pentameter kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Sounded weird.
Okay.
To help Asuka get through the promo, which reminded us that Asuka pinned Becky to take her title in a triple threat match with Charlotte. Then she made Becky tap. And what does she do to follow that up, Brian? She loses to Mandy.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, by the way, I'm not shitting on Mandy getting a potential push. I'm shitting on you pinning the champion right after she just cut a promo reminding us how she's taken down twice the hottest thing in the women's division.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's something that that we don't potentially know about, like maybe they're giving her like a Dean Ambrose type of treatment. Like, is Asuka on her way out? Or are they just starting to bury her by having Mandy Rose beat her?
I haven't heard Asuka in all the names mentioned.
Me neither.
Of contracts coming up.
This could just be just a little part in the story, but I mean, I don't know, man.
They're trying to make Mandy believable as a challenger.
Right. I mean, they were talking about Asuka being undefeated and going over all of her accolades. And then you have someone like Mandy Rose. I mean, I guess if they're trying to, to
could Mandy
elevate
be the
her,
Ruby of Fastlane? They're just throwing her in there to give her a chance.
Totally. Either her or Sonya, but I mean, it seems like it's going to be Mandy. I mean, they're
hair up and square up. I mean,
at this point, kind of they're interchangeable, right?
No.
You don't think so?
I think no.
You'd rather see Mandy?
Yes.
Really?
Since their debut, and again, glass half full. Let's look at it for what it is, Brian. Mandy was down here at her debut. She has gotten better. Sonya Deville, I wouldn't say she's gotten worse, but she has gotten no better since her debut.
No, that's not true. She definitely has. You just don't watch.
I feel that she has not.
Watch.
I feel that she has not. They'll Bang Bus. What a dick. Bang Bus says Asuka doesn't speak English. They'll never know when she wants to leave. Yeah, that's got to be a tough contract negotiation, especially if WWE hires the translator. Perfect 11 says they just had both the men's and women's champions get pinned clean on the same show. I'm glad Perfect 11 says that. I want to go back. I forgot this point in the Daniel Bryan thing. Did you know Daniel Bryan in his last 4 matches has been pinned was lost 3 times to a pin? The one time he won was when the belt was on the line. I said this before. I wondered it. Now I'm getting more and more sure of it. I think he's one of those champions that loses.
Oh, absolutely.
When the belt's on the line, he wins.
No, he's the chicken shit heel, of course. He's going to do everything in his power to, he's going to in those big matches, he'll find a way to win. But TV matches and stuff like that, where the title isn't on the line, where there's really no major consequence, sure, he'll take the loss.
And you can do that. Like how many times did Hogan lose when he had the title? None. How many times did Hogan beat the heel when he didn't have the title and the heel did? All the time. That's what happens in like booking. And I know that we've gotten far away from the old school heel and face thing, but it is what it is. On the board, one more comment on this before we move on. Cashmere says Mandy will win the women's SmackDown title this year.
Really?
I agree. Not at Mania. She could be even the Money in the Bank winner. That could be the push that vaults her into the title picture this year. She has improved.
I can see that. I can see that more than the actual championship. I can see her winning the Money in the Bank.
She's
Sure.
not a bad promo. She has improved in the ring. Once she breaks up with Absolution, Fire and Ice, Desire, whatever the hell they're going to call them week to week, once she's done with that, it'll go. Stike says, I'm going out on a large limb. Asuka retains at Fastlane. Yeah, no shit. Then she finds a way into WrestleMania main event, makes it into a fatal four-way, and both titles are on the... No.
Fatal four-way?
No.
The only way I could see that happening, I don't see that happening.
Yes.
But
exactly. The only way Brian can see it happening is not.
It's not happening. Yeah. But they do like stacking those matches, man, and just adding people to it because they want to include everyone. But no, thank you, sir.
Next thing you're going to say, once it becomes a four-way, they're going to do that McMahon in every corner gimmick that they did back in 2000. No, sir, no.
5.
Number 5, I used you. Shane and Miz, there's no rematch clauses, but fuck it. We're going to break the rules for me because I'm one of the McMahons. There you go. I recapped the segment. Is there anything else I need to say? Is there anything else you care to say about this?
What, about the Shane segment, the opening one?
Yeah.
Dude, it might be me, but I fucking cannot stand a babyface Miz.
Yeah, 8 months ago we were all on Miz's jock, talking about how great he is and how we think...
he's still great. He's still great. Don't get me wrong.
Well, he's capable of greatness still.
But he's just, this feels like Bobby Roode all over again. But like even worse because we already know how great.
It's exactly like Bobby Roode, though. Let's make him a face, then relegate him to tag division, give him the brief title run in that tag division of Frankenstein team, and then take it away. Horrible. Perfect 11 wants to remind us, hey, what's the hell is going on with Nikki Cross? She'd be the only one named Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch that I could see giving Asuka a good Mania match. True.
But they won't do it. They won't do it.
Yeah, they won't pull that trigger, which is sad.
She's not. I mean, nothing against Nikki. Like I think she's one of my favorite women's wrestlers on the roster, but she doesn't have that main roster name just yet, and it's not her fault. It's not her fault.
It's not. I mean, some of this is booking exposure. I mean, we've said keep it simple. You don't have to give the Ty Dillingers of the world TV time and a rivalry that they can play with on Twitter for a couple weeks. You know, Ty Dillinger cuts a promo tonight where someone backstage, bumps into him. And then 2 weeks from now, they have a title, or not a title fight, a match on the show. That's it. Just give them a little bit of time. Nothing as stupid as Mojo talking to a mirror.
No. I would rather watch, I want to watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw of just Mojo talking into a mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want him in the ring. Anything here before we move on? Cheek Clapper has joined us. What's up? He says, does Miz turn on Shane at Fastlane?
I think it's before that.
Wait a second, though. He says, does Miz turn on Shane? I think Shane turns on Miz.
No.
I think Shane turns on Miz, but Cheek Clapper, he's right.
What
now that I think about it, because Shane has the power to make the match. So if Miz turns on Shane, then Shane can go, guess what? We're fighting at Mania. I know they're going to fight at Mania. How they get there is difficult. So we could talk about that instead of tonight. Mika Meach says Miz will be the babyface to promote his show.
Exactly. Plus, I mean, we all know that he's having another baby. So yeah, you can't have him be this chicken shit heel when he's got all this going on. And Turtle is saying that Miz is an awful babyface in wrestling, but a huge babyface outside of wrestling.
Turtle's one of those many people that I made a bad first impression on. Now I
exactly,
like him. Turtle's awesome.
Saying, bring up Kyrie and let them go. That's interesting, actually. Bringing up another because they didn't bring up any other women NXT wrestlers, right? It was just all the dudes. Yeah,
Stike's saying Ember, but isn't Ember injured and
She's
on
hurt.
Raw?
She's hurt.
Yeah, so
she's hurt.
Miz and EC3 is a tag team. Cashmere said that would be funny. They've Frankenstein Miz though for so long. He's either been in the IC division leading some shitty cronies like Miz Dow and the B team, or he's been in the tag division with some weird Frankenstein team when he was with Morrison and Jericho and Big Show and shit. The list goes on.
What was it? Miz
now
Show
all the way. Yeah, Miz Show. Jeremiz. I don't know what the fuck.
Show Miz. No, Show Miz.
Yeah, that's what it was.
What the fuck did I say?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Miz Show. It's the Miz Show.
Yeah. Bang Bus is saying Mike Kanellis and Cedric just had a banger on 205 Live.
What does he mean by banger? Bangers and mash?
They had a good match. They had a good match. They had a solid match. Come on.
All right.
They could be a Mizzy 3.
Do you think, just real quick, obviously they're not winning it back to answer cheek clappers.
Who? Miz and
Shane.
Miz and Morrissey?
Yeah. Well, they're not winning the I call this tag team the Shiz. Shane and Miz. I call them the Shiz. I don't think they're winning back.
No, they're done.
Yeah. Bangbus says, remember, not me. Everyone thought Miz was winning the Rumble. Check the tape to like 2 minutes ago, Bangbus. I said, remember, like 8 months ago, we were all on Miz's jock. And I think it was Rob who had the moment of clarity to make me give up that hope of Miz winning the Rumble. He said, last year was the year. They didn't do it. They didn't pull the trigger. It's not going to be this year. And he's right. I don't know if the stars will ever align, but the way Miz was last year and the way they did him on Talking Smack and stuff last year would have been the year to win the Rumble, not this year. It's a shame. They missed the boat. They've done it before. It was an opportunity. I'm not saying it was horrible what they chose with Knock, but the way they chose it and not giving him the belt, they should have done with Miz last year. But, yeah, Bang Bus, you're right. I'll admit, not when I'm wrong, but when I backed the wrong horse here for sure. I'm wrong.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I'm wrong, too, at sometimes. No, Dean's a 3-time champ, I believe.
Oh, fuck off with that.
I'm just saying. Who do you back? The Ascension?
The Ascension.
They haven't even.
Taz.
Okay, I'll give you Taz.
Tommy Dreamer.
No, I'll give you those guys.
The Bucks.
Trump, my love, is on the board. He says, I voted for the greatest man to ever live, Donald Trump. Obviously, that's someone poking fun at Rob. They don't realize that, guess what? Rob's not here, so.
Well, I mean, say what you want about that asshole, but he is a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah. But who?
Trump.
Wait, they didn't put him in the hall, did they?
Brother.
Did they put it all the way up to the ring? Is that how he got in there? Anyway, you check that. We will be back. Quick commercial while Brian looks that up to give him something to do during the break.
Yeah, 2013.
Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away.
Here are your Markedoutwrestling housekeeping notes. Stay informed through social media by following us on Facebook, facebook.com/markedout1. Instagram @markedoutwrestling. Twitter @SmartMarkShow. Join us live and subscribe on YouTube, Markdout Wrestling Podcast, or Twitch, Markedout Wrestling. Listen to us using Apple Podcast, iTunes, or Podbean the following day. Send us your thoughts and opinions, or upload your custom audio segments to us using WeTransfer.com via email, markedoutpodcast@gmail.com. MOWP are members of the Electronic Media Collective and Bubba the Love Sponges, Bubba Radio Army. You can listen to us on demand on either platform. Get connected. Get connected.
Oh, my God!
I said no. Okay, I clean. I stick finger in your mouth. Housekeeping.
Okay.
Okay.
Show me the money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Hello, Marked Out Wrestling listener family. This is Rody Rob, the executive producer of the show, and I'm excited to tell you about some great ways to help us continue to bring you great pro wrestling fan perspective in the coming year. Visit markedoutgear.com and browse our new line of apparel and gear. You can grab a shirt or gear with some of our favorite catchphrases from the show or some of our original concepts. And don't forget to use the promo code SmartMarkShow for 10% off of your entire order. Independent wrestlers, we'd love to support your growth by offering you a platform to market yourself. Email us, markedoutgear@gmail.com, if you are interested. We will take a minimal cut while giving you up to 90% of the profits. Also, join one of our monthly tiers on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/markedoutwrestling, and if you choose the Marking Out tier of $20 a month, we will send you an MOWP shirt as a thank you. Finally, visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code MARKEDOUT, that's all caps and one word, to receive 10% off of your entire order of Al Snow's popular pro wrestling brand apparel.
Show me the money! Show me the money! You my motherfucker!
And thank
you. We're going to give you what you want. Something new, something fresh. In the coming weeks and months, you will be seeing new...
Recorded live from the White Table Studios, it's the Smarky Awards.
Wow, Cheek Clapper says he was in a house show last night, and Ty Dillinger beat EC3 in seconds.
Jesus.
What a bright future that EC3
God.
has.
Hey, I mean, it's only a house show, so...
But he beat Dean Ambrose, a former champ, just recently on TV in a quick pin, in a quick match, in a featured spot, and they're like, yep, you're yesterday's news. We're bringing up 4 new guys. Anyway, this is the Smarkies, Brian. It's our Marked Out Award, the best match. Well, that sucked. LOL, and the pink slip. Don't forget the pink slip is just for tonight only, and you can't always just give it to Baron Corbin, especially on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, he's not on the show.
He's
or the Ascension.
Yeah, that's what you would do. Yeah. Stupid Ascension
No Ascension Award. No Ascension Award tonight.
So Marked Out Award for me tonight, I'm going to go with the moment they announced that Kofi was the challenger. I know he's not going to win.
So the end of the show?
Yeah. I marked out a little bit because everybody was going back and forth. They're going to do this at Mania. They're not going to blah, blah, blah. What's he going to do? I think this is a good medium, Brian. They give him his opportunity. They showcase him. Bob said it. I hate fucking agreeing with Bob at any point, but he said it in a conversation I had off air that, this is where Kofi proved that he's a main eventer.
That should happen.
So I really think he after Mania will get elevated. What they do with the New Day or something, I think that they're in the drawing in the blueprint stage of that. What they're going to draw up and how they're going to do this. But I think Kofi's going to be a much more featured player in 2019 than he would have been had Mustafa Ali not got injured. What's your Marked Out Award?
Mine is actually a lot more simpler. Mine was just that fucking high knee that Mandy Rose gave to Asuka on the outside of the ring. I'm not sure if you caught it or not, but
was it stiff?
It was nice. It was good. It looked good.
No, I'm saying like she didn't check. I didn't. It didn't look. I saw it. It didn't look like she checked. It looked like it made contact.
It was snug. It was
snug. That's the word I was looking for.
It was a proper knee.
I didn't want to say strong style.
It looked great.
Snug. You're right.
Good job by Mandy. Good job.
To confuse me is why I liked it. I'm like, wait, did she connect?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Or was that great check?
Right.
So
some of them marked out on the board. For Bang Boss, it's hearing the crowd far better than yesterday. Yeah.
They're in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Duh.
Let's see. For Cheek Clapper, it's Big E throwing shade at Jussie and Empire. I don't watch the show, so.
Oh.
Yeah, but I guess he did make that Empire reference, so good on you. Marked out for Vice is Aleister Black versus Andrade. Andrade is so damn good despite the L. He makes everyone look good. Fact.
Oh, absolutely. And him and Black, that was when he was in the midst of that losing streak. And I know he lost to Aleister, but that, I think, elevated them both. And what was it? 9 months later, they're fighting over the title.
Yeah.
That I think that started with, obviously, their first feud.
Sure. A couple other ones on the board. Stike, Kofi getting the championship shot. He is one of the longest tenured superstars and deserves it. Agreed. And then for Kashmir,
yeah,
Kofi
I think
pinning.
it's Kofi and Miz.
Oh, yeah?
I think Kofi
right now,
and Miz.
Really? Full time?
On SmackDown Live.
Randy. Jeff.
Well,
Well,
they
I
left.
bet they
Randy
well,
and
Randy
Jeff
didn't.
left for a while.
Oh, Randy didn't leave. Where'd Randy go?
Smoke pot and get suspended.
Yeah. Well,
Have 5 kids, marry
Little
someone
bit.
with 5 others.
Little bit.
The Brady Bunch. That's the way. No.
The Orton Bunch.
Marked out when I saw Ciampa able to put weight on his knee. I was legit worried. Perfect 11 says, you know what?
Us too.
That's a great marked out award because I agree.
This is Roderick Strong. I approve this message.
Kashmir says, Kofi pinning the WWE champion 2 weeks in a row. Weird, right? That shit happened. I mean, if that doesn't legit prove to you that Kofi's... I don't know. There's sometimes that I never understand. Shelton Benjamin, he pinned Triple H 3 weeks in a row on Raw, seemingly to get a good push after they broke up the tag team of Team Angle. And nothing. It fizzled.
Brother.
And then they gave him the Mama gimmick. No, there was a gap before they gave him Mama. Rusev had that huge debut. Ryback, we talk about this all the time, how they extinguish a fire. Either play into it or don't. Kofi debuted on New ECW way back in 07.
Yeah, with the accent and all.
Yeah, Jamaican, Irie.
Ooh, actually, do you remember when Kofi fucking he did the Trouble in Paradise to Miz, and like completely like made contact and just we'll have to watch it
I
later.
remember, but
It's a great clip.
I mean, I've seen him do it so many times.
Anyway, anything else on the board?
That's it for me. Let's go to the next one. The next one, best match. I guess because of the drama of it all. I mean, there was some good matches tonight. Let's just be honest.
SmackDown always has better matches.
But DIY in the bar, the drama of Ciampa on the outside, that bump. I mean, I was legit worried, and I was also watching Ciampa, or not Ciampa, Cesaro and Gargano exchanges, which were just unbelievable. I will say a big fuck you to WWE. Between that and the Eric Young Ricochet match, you're fucking putting them in thumbnails on me. I got to watch this in a little picture-in-picture while you show a commercial.
Don't even, man. Don't even. I don't get it.
I
understand.
Those are 2 good matches. First time I'm going to see them on the main roster, and I'm watching them in a damn little screen.
I understand they're the ones that pay the bills around there and keep the lights on, right? But why the fuck are you going to do that? I mean, you can map it out where it's during, I don't know, let's say Mandy Rose and fucking Asuka, right?
Yeah. And you can tell, by the way, Brian, you were right about what's the best match because I'm getting parity on the board. There's more than one answer. What did you pick?
For me, it was Andrade and Alistair. Now, this definitely wasn't their best match that they've had. Obviously, if you go back and watch your NXT stuff, is way better.
Third in the series?
I think the third, yeah.
2 in NXT.
I want to say they had like a bullshit finish on TV, maybe.
Okay, so 4-4.
But either way, this match, I mean, it was a quick TV match. And they also got the fucking picture-in-picture like you mentioned. So, to me, just to have that, like to have, I don't know, like the Geico shit going on while I'm watching that, it just takes away the entire just allure of the match.
I love the board tonight. Best match for Stike, DIY in the bar. For Bang Bus, he says it's hard, but he's going with Ricochet and Young. Perfect 11 says, how do you decide this? He goes, we got Black and Almas on free TV, and we saw Gargano and Cesaro lock up for the first time.
Right.
And then Kashmir, best match, he says, Ricochet and Eric Young. He says this is how he made the difference. He said specifically Ricochet because he really had to dumb down his style to work with Young, and he was still pretty damn good. Did he have to dumb it down? This is the first time I've seen Eric Young in a long time solo. Is Eric Young lost a step? I didn't think so. I just thought Ricochet's so much faster.
He's so much faster, and we were talking about it off air. That was just a very confusing matchup for me. Like, there's a lot of other guys that I feel like you could have paired Ricochet with that, I mean...
Like who? Give me an example.
Who?
I mean, that I thought Eric Young was good because he could beat him and it doesn't matter.
Mysterio. Now, I understand... I understand he's a face. You can't do that.
But you couldn't let Ricochet debut like that without serious freaking plans. Serious. I mean, like...
Why?
if he pins a former world champion his second night on the roster,
all right, maybe he's a bad example. But
he's a terrible example.
All right, but when you think of like cruisers and guys that can move around in the ring,
think about who he pinned last night. It was a good debut.
Who?
But he pinned Leo Rush.
Okay.
Who does he pin tonight? Eric Young.
Right.
Okay.
But Leo Rush is a cruiser, and he can move around, and he's one of the guys that you want to have in the ring with Ricochet.
In other organizations.
Okay, but he's not a known cruiserweighter or a guy that's going to move around the ring like someone that would mesh well with Ricochet. Like a Will Ospreay. Oh, you don't know who Will Ospreay is, never mind.
Yeah. Bangba says, this was Young's first match in 2019. I think it was his first match in like close to a year, at least on the main roster singles. Ray had a dark match before the show also. And best match for Anaconda Vice, he says Adam versus Rob for the chair. No, I'd win. He would just, he pulls the strings and the weight because it's his studio in the end. So I have to acquiesce, if you will, which he doesn't even probably know what that means.
No.
Ricochet and Ray put on a pretty good series of matches in the Indies. Cashmere said, so that could happen. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
we might have to check the tape. Yeah,
Prince Puma.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting.
Is this another one?
No. I now.
Is this another?
It's not. It's not the same as nothing will ever be the same as Nigel McGuinness and Desmond Wolfe.
Yes.
I legit turned to Brian, and while we were watching Nigel McGuinness on commentary, I can't remember what match, but Nigel was definitely on commentary. And I turned to you and go, do you remember that guy, Desmond Wolfe? Legit not knowing.
I thought you were fucking with me.
Full kayfabe break was not fucking with you. I had a moment where, well, that sucked. LOL and the Pink Slip Award are what we got left. Brian, you want to do Well, That Sucked first?
Yeah, I mentioned it before, but the picture-in-picture during Aleister Black and during Ricochet's match, that just no thank you, sir. No, Get out of here.
Mine is going to be Asuka having to remind us that she pinned and submitted Becky, only to then lose to Mandy. That's a hard pill to swallow. My backup, well, that sucked while we're waiting for the board, was the Shane's hairline tonight. You and I mentioned that we noticed something different. How in a week did it change so much?
Maybe he's using that that stuff that like fizzes up and like it looks
the
like
spray that makes it look like it's full.
Maybe he's got
and the lights made it sweat off in Gorilla.
And I mean, they are in Louisiana. Those fucking swampy. Yeah.
He probably couldn't keep the rug.
Right. It probably just dripped off of him. So he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go out there without it.
Yeah. Nobody will notice, and then too late.
Mm-hmm.
At least just for men, he's too young to be that gray, right?
I mean,
is he under 50?
I would say he's close to 50.
He's got to be. Well, that sucks. Picture in picture. Bangba says, yep. High Off Gas says, well, that sucks is the chair because it smells.
Yeah, he's 49.
Well, that sucked the picture in picture for Stike, but I guess it's better than a full commercial break. You know what, Stike?
That's what we were debating.
I don't think it was. I twice, when it went to picture in picture, looked down to put up some notes in my production notes and told Brian to fast forward. He goes, you fucking crazy? The match is still going. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of want to see their match, Adam. Excuse me.
I would too, but I thought the commercial was running, so I looked away. Well, that sucked for Kashmir. WWE taking natural heels and trying to turn them on a face. Please stop that. I've had friends who went gray in their 20s, Catbox. Well, yeah, we all know Steve Martin was gray very young.
Sure. My grandpa was fucking bald in his wedding pictures when he was like 22.
Yeah, but I guess I haven't gone gray, so I don't know. But I didn't realize it was that fast. Like I thought you got the pepper look for a little while.
And I've got a little gray in my beard right now.
Oh, I got friggin' white in my beard in some places. Well, that sucked. Another pointless Lacey Evans runway cameo. Yeah, I'm glad Perfect 11 gave it an award because
that happened tonight.
Yeah.
When? Did I take a piss?
No. It just in the middle of Mandy and Asuka. That's how actually Mandy got a false finish, and I'm like, surely they're not going to give her the win. And then like 2 minutes later, they got her the win. Hair Up and Square Up just looked at her, and she turned around and walked back up the ramp. It was dumb as fuck. I tried not to swear tonight, but that was a dumb one. So obviously I failed. LOL and the Pink Slip. That's what we got left, Brian. My LOL, I said it earlier. Bring your NXT superstars to work day.
Yeah, that's
from
pretty
Cesaro.
good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine is actually Cesaro and Sheamus. I was just thinking, I was like, if they just run with this purple gimmick, they could be the purple people beaters.
Oh.
Right? There you go. You can keep that.
The pancake branch, as the pancake olive branch, was pretty funny. LOL, who Zelina was cheering for, her client or her husband? Cheek Clapper says, maybe she was trying to disguise both. LOL, is Xavier Woods struggling to hold up Big E during that first backstage segment?
Yeah.
Cashmere says, was he struggling?
It looked like he was. It looked like he was.
It looked like he was at the beginning, and then it looked like he was fine. It was weird. It looked like it got easier somehow instead of worse. Big E's Empire line, without a doubt, Perfect 11 says, is the LOL.
Yeah,
and
if I watched that
confirms
show.
It.
Right.
Yeah, if
Maybe
only Rob were here,
Yeah.
he would know
does
what
he
the
watch
hell's
it?
He's an angry elf.
I think he does watch Empire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. Stike even gave it to
Now
you.
I need to watch the show.
No, I'm not just watching the show just to understand.
One random line from SmackDown on February 19th.
Oh my God, Brian!
2019.
Disrespectful, stupid idiot.
No,
Whatever, man.
that's not happening. Last award for me is the pink slip. It's Lacey Evans for me. That is a stupid gimmick. You walk down the aisle, and then you turn around and walk back in the middle of a segment, in the middle of a match, in the middle of a pay-per-view, whatever the hell it is. That's stupid. The only gimmick that's worse than that was Jillian when she had that conjoined dead fetus on her face that the boogeyman ate off.
Yeah.
That's the only women's gimmick I think is worse than that.
There it is.
There it is.
God damn it.
God damn it, pal.
Yeah, goddamn, pal.
Give me your pink slip, Brian.
Pink slip. This one really makes me sad, but I'm sorry, man. Fucking babyface Miz. Get him out of my face.
What about Mr. Miz? We're gonna have a little cheer, and I'm gonna go to my hometown. How did
Get him out of here too?
How the hell did we turn on Miz so bad? Bang Bus was picking on me earlier. Screw him. I'm talking to you, Brian. How the hell did we go from 8 months ago thinking he's gonna? I no longer thought he was gonna win the Royal Rumble, but I'm like, he's gonna main event Mania against Daniel Bryan. They're gonna find a way to bring this feud the whole way. They're gonna do something more with it. He's gonna be back in the main event picture, the title hunt. He's in the fucking tag division. He went from the IC mid card to the tag division with Shane McMahon. He's gonna have one of the most pointless Mania matches in years against Shane, unless something changes in the next whatever it is, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I am so freaking baffled on how we flipped. It's almost as bad as Braun. I think 8 months ago was probably Braun when we were like pre-SummerSlam.
That's a
This
good
guy's
comparison.
gonna win. How do the WWE? I mean, are these guys flawed? And Miz has been around forever. Maybe Braun, but why? How could they sour on a guy who's doing this? Is it because of his commitments? Maybe.
Definitely. I mean, having the TV show go on. I mean, it's
Now a second child.
Yeah, you can't. Like we said before, you can't really have him be a kind of like a devious heel.
I would think though on season 2 you'd want him at least at some portion to have the belt, and then he could walk around a couple episodes like, look at me, I'm walking around the mall with my championship.
You can't have the champion up with holding the belt. That's why if you watch, well, I know you don't watch it, so I don't know why the fuck I said that. On Total Divas and all that bullshit, I'm almost certain they don't have the champion as like the main cast member or as a cast member at all. Like they keep them completely separate. I believe we'd have to check with Queen Kiera about that.
Yeah, I don't know. There was this bit where she emulated Britney Spears for a while after the fetus.
When she would come out and sing.
That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah. How do we remember so much about Jillian?
Also, the thing that bothers me about Miz too is that he has all this stuff going on. Meanwhile, fucking Daniel Bryan is the champion. Like one of his like biggest rivals is at the top, while Miz is just doing his own thing with Shane McMahon.
Makes no sense. Bang Bus wants to point out that apparently on the dark match last night we were talking about Empire. Apparently that was totally Rob.
That's false. It was Rob. Yeah, you're right.
Me and Brian had no clue.
Yeah.
Pink slip, Eric Young for Bang Bus. He says great talent doing nothing. Pink slip for Stike, Charlotte Flair. Who cares?
No.
You keep coming out saying the same thing every week. She's in the main event, blah, blah, blah.
Hell yeah.
Didn't we talk about the mole last night?
Mole, 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 mole.
She put a tweet out today about how she's proud of every flaw, scar, whatever curve on her body.
Okay.
You know, then
Good
why,
for her.
Then
I
why,
appreciate that.
You know, and celebrates them. Well, why would you get rid of the mole then if you're...
What mole?
Exactly. Let's see. Miz signed for 5 years, so he's a lock. That's why they're not pushing him. Pink slip. WWE not using Google Translate during Asuka's promos. Cashmere said that would be funny. They should sponsor that. Get somebody to sponsor that. And a kind of ice says, I agree with you, Adam. Pink slip for Lacey Evans. Gimmick's trash. She's more annoying than the icon. Oh, Iconics.
It's kind of like what they were doing with Emelina. You remember those days? How she would just
but that was
out?
just the promo. She never got to come out, Brian. She never got to come out.
She came out
No,
once.
that was once.
Once.
That doesn't count.
So
Lacey Evans has already come out 3 times.
I know, but what I'm saying, they're just doing it all over again. It's like Groundhog Day. They just keep doing an Emelina thing over and over and over.
Well, they tried with Eva Marie after. Well, or no, was Eva Marie supposed to be Emelina? I don't know.
No, Eva Marie came out, and she would come out to wrestle a match, but her top would fall off so that she wouldn't be able. Yeah. Every single time she'd come out, she wouldn't be able to wrestle. That was her.
Catbox is like, yeah, Charlotte loves her body. She got implants. She got rid of a mole. Yeah. Stike says it's hard for me to hate Lacey Evans. He knows she's trash, but she served in the military, so it's hard for me to hate her. That's fine. If she came out as a Marine or some kind of gimmick there, I bet you I'd be behind her. I would love to see a female Marine character. We've seen the Army character plenty of times in the Cold War era of wrestling. We even saw it with We the Pizza. Have we ever seen a female?
Major Guns.
Jesus fucking Christ, Brian.
What?
That doesn't count.
Why not?
XPW does not count.
Oh my God. Well, you're close. That WCW. She was in the tail end of it.
No, was she not the one that was topless in the XPW videos?
No. No, you're right. I believe she did have time in XPW. However, she was also with fucking Booker.
Somebody
Booker
please
T.
tell me that I'm right.
She was with Booker T.
Yeah, during his GI Bro.
Exactly. Yeah, Misfits in action, brother. There you go.
But that doesn't count.
Why? She would wear camo.
There was no way she was she
I'm
wasn't
almost
a real
certain
Marine.
She would salute.
It doesn't matter. Was she a real Marine?
So you need a real Marine to play the character?
No, but
was
I would.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy a real garbage man?
But I would like a believable character. Marines, from what I can tell from the old pictures of Rob, not the current Rob, Marines have a very tough boot camp and regiment of physical, specimens. They are the elite physical specimens, supposedly, of the armed forces. Okay, to believe that Major Guns, somebody who, if she tried to jog once around the track, would give herself 7 black eyes, I don't think she is the type to pretend that she's a legit Marine, is my point.
Well, that's on you. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Okay, I would never believe Deborah, Stone Cold's wife, would be a Marine, but I would believe Molly Holly. I would believe, that's what it doesn't have to be a legit Marine. I'm saying it would have to be somebody who looks physically fit is my point. I'm not trying to.
All right, so I'm going to jump in.
Terry Runnels, I wouldn't say.
I'm going to jump into your world. Did you believe that Captain America could become, was he a soldier?
No,
did
but
he look like a soldier?
I did believe Goldie Hawn was Private Benjamin in the Army. Stike says her gimmick is based on how women acted and dressed back in the American Revolution and Civil War. That's how she's dressed. I don't think that's how her gimmick is.
So she's racist.
No. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to move on.
You're welcome.
I don't have any other segue. Brian.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Guess what?
What?
As usual, Rob doesn't care about us here on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I know.
So I have no sound effect.
It's that time
for this game. So this is what I have decided out of the buttons I can push is going to be the intro for this segment. Are you ready, Brian?
Yeah.
Time to play the game.
Here is our creative fun stuff of the night. Board, try not to help me. I'm not going to look, but the screen is open. So don't help me until after I get it wrong. or right. But this is a game we call Wrestler versus Porn Star. Or Wrestler or Porn Star.
Wrestler or Porn Star.
Or Porn Star.
And now this applies to, this can be WWE.
Any kind of wrestler.
All Elite Wrestling.
Now
XPW, apparently you're an XPW aficionado.
Now, I wanted to ask this last week when I won, which, by the way, I'm up 1-0 on this new running gag we're going to try here, or running gimmick, whatever. What would happen if you asked me China? I mean, she's going into the Hall of Fame.
Dual citizenship.
Either answer's right there, right? I don't know if there's any other examples like that.
X-Pac.
Okay, there you go. So you need to either count both answers if you should ask me, which would be really stupid on your part to ask me those, or avoid asking me those. Because
no, I'm talking about.
We'll do some dirt sheet bang bus.
Full on production. Maybe. Okay, I'm not talking about like
Sunny. What about
I'm
Sunny?
not talking about people that just fucking took a camcorder. All right, and just did it for shits and giggles, and it got out. Paige.
Right.
I'm talking about.
Oh, so Brad Maddox wouldn't count.
Exactly.
Paige, Xavier Woods.
No, those are wrestlers.
Sex tapes don't count.
Those are wrestlers. Exactly. Okay. I know we're in a new time, and this is digital age.
Was Sunny in the studio?
You know what? So
was
any actually? I'm almost certain she was doing some almost like cam girl shit.
Yeah, it says Sunny was legit.
She was doing stuff where you could almost like you put money in and she would just do whatever via satellite in wrestling terms.
Cashmere says, "What about Hulk Hogan?" All right, let's kick this game off. How many you got? You got 5 again for me?
Sure,
Dave?
that works. All right, let's go.
All I got to do is get 3 to win.
All right.
All you have to do is get 3 to win, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Each week, winning number is 3.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Mo the Minister Johnson.
Mo the Minister Johnson. Oh, where's my 20 seconds so I know what I got here?
20 seconds.
I'm just hitting the timer button.
If
I got an answer before, then I'm gonna stop it, Brian.
Yeah.
This Sunday, WWE's in Greenville, South Carolina. What a horrible crowd. Rob and I went to that show before we did the podcast. It's a horrible crowd. Anyway, I'll be honest, I have no effing clue, Brian, but having Johnson in the name makes me want to go Porn Star.
You are correct.
Hey, 1-0.
He's been in the biz, just pounding that pavement since 2000, since 2009.
Dude, pavement's hard.
Yeah.
He must use a lot of lube.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for number 2?
Let's go. Penelope Ford.
Penelope Ford. I feel like that's in your browser history. I'm going to go with Porn Star on that one, Brian.
You are incorrect, sir.
Oh!
In fact, Penelope Ford, she is now in AEW. She is one of the roster members, and she is also dating the bad boy Joey Janela, who you might have heard of.
No,
I think I might have done him. His. You know what I mean.
You did him.
Him.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right, Brian.
Let's see here.
What's next?
Let's go with.
Cashmere says that she is a wrestler, but she looks like a porn star.
Yeah.
They all do.
All right. Kieran Lee. Of course, we have Trevor Lee. You have Keith Lee.
Oh.
You have
Bruce Lee was a martial artist.
You have Brody Lee.
I'm going to go with porn star.
Correct.
Yes.
You might have recognized him from such films as. Actually, I don't have any. I don't know. I don't have
Welcome to the Sex Pot, or
I didn't do that much.
Harry Twatter. Anyway, I need one more for the victory, Brian.
One more for the victory.
Yep, right. It's 2-1. You get to ask me 2 more.
All right, let's go. Sonny Kiss.
Sonny Kiss is a wrestler.
Correct.
I win.
You are correct.
I win. What do I get, Brian?
You get nothing.
Damn it.
You lose.
You get nothing.
Good day, sir.
I suck at this game, Anaconda Vice. I'm 2-0, bitch. Brian can't stump me.
I feel like you've just been guessing a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
All right, so I need to throw some. I need to give you a 33.3% chance of winning.
Oh,
right?
we could if I win next week and go 3 in a row under these rules, Brian, we'll change it up, and you could give me 3, and maybe I've got to pick the porn star out of the list.
There you go.
Or I have to pick the oddball.
Yeah.
2 of them are one, and one of them's the other.
Oddballs.
I have to say this person. Yeah, that could be fun. Fucking with you. Anaconda Vice says, yeah. Well, you haven't been here, so how do I know if you're fucking with me? That's what happens when you don't show up.
I'm surprised you got Penelope Ford wrong. I could have sworn that I've mentioned her before.
Yeah, but that would involve that I.
She was at All In.
Yeah, but that would involve I listen to you.
Yeah, and that you pay attention to the indies.
Right.
What is this?
Do we not have any dirt sheets?
I mean, we could. There's some stuff we could talk about.
I mean, it's only been 24 hours.
There's some stuff that we could talk about.
Oh.
One of the things that the Bucks have been vocal about.
God, will you just let me and my brother eat lunch?
Good Lord, man.
Yes. Nick Jackson was recently talking to the Sporting News, and one of the questions that he was asked was obviously this pending TV deal, this looming TV deal that we've all been hearing about, but we haven't really gotten any specifics about.
I thought we might make it a whole episode without talking about AEW.
Sorry.
I forgot about dirt sheets.
Sorry, brother.
No, we're good.
But one of the things
it's just been monopolizing our time lately.
Yeah. One of the things that he talked about, what he said was, well, I can tell you this. He said that he just took a shot at WWE saying that it's not going to be 3 hours long.
Hey-yo.
He said definitely not 3 hours, that's for sure. He said, I feel like 3 hours is too much. You get into a problem where you overexpose your talent, and some people get tired of the talent you use because you're using them so often. A 3-hour show, that's a long time. We do our miniseries for YouTube, and that's only 15 minutes once a week, and people seem to love that. We can't do a 15-minute TV show or something like that. I think the sweet spot
they could on Adult Swim.
Right? I think the sweet spot would be 1 to 2 hours at most, which is perfect. I think 1 hour.
SmackDown's good at 2 hours.
2 hours is perfect.
Yeah, I think the roster size to me depends on whether you should go from an hour or 2. An hour is perfect for NXT because of their roster size. An hour or 2 hours is perfect for SmackDown because of their roster size. 3 hours is too much on Raw because of the recap.
Right.
So that's where I go with the differential in the 3. The big thing here is not about the length of I guess the episode so much. It's what you're going to do with it.
Sure.
I was going to bring up AEW for one reason. The Bucks and Kenny went with, I can't remember which Bucks wife it is, if it was Matt or Nick.
Matt.
It was Matt. Went with obviously both Bucks, Matt's wife, and Kenny. She said it was a bucket list for her, but she tagged them all at the Backstreet Boys concert with her in Vegas.
Right.
Which, I don't know. I get a kick out of little stupid things like that.
Sure.
Kevin Owens with his son, in the promo. I like little stuff like that. It just it brightens my day in a different way.
Yeah. And then speaking about the Bucks as well, one of the things that we've heard about too was that when they had negotiations with WWE, one of the things that's kind of coming out is that there was a proposed invasion angle that would happen at WrestleMania 35. That would be including Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and
the
potentially
Elite.
Having the Elite invade WrestleMania.
Hangman Adam Page.
Exactly. There you go. Look at you. You learn so quick.
You act like I can't learn.
Yeah. But one of the things that's interesting is just the offers and how aggressive that they said that they were.
Well, I heard they brought in a consultant to help them do the contracts.
Well, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance.
Oh, obviously Samoa Joe's not going to AEW if that's the guy negotiating.
Because all these guys, Adam Page was one of the first ones that was offered an NXT contract and was vocal about the fact that he turned it down. But one of the things that came out was saying that it was reported that he would have been able to work the NXT brand while making main roster money, and he would be one of the guys that the brand was built around. Which, if NXT is
weren't other guys treated that way though? Brian was Finn,
Samoa
and
Joe,
Bobby. Yeah,
main roster money though. I don't know about that.
Joe had to be getting main roster money to go to NXT. At least Samoa Joe. Finn Balor was coming from Ring of Honor. Joe. For Joe to
New Japan, brother.
Sorry, but weren't they working together at the time? I get so confused.
New Japan.
They blur.
At the time.
To me, they blur. Samoa Joe, they passed on him. What was it, back in 02 or 03?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Daniel Bryan was over there.
But my thing is for him to go through their developmental program a decade plus years later, they had to have been giving him main roster money or said, hey, make it through the year. We'll bump you up there and we'll give you a bonus.
Or
something.
some sort of guarantee.
Something. I feel there's no way he would have gone to NXT for that.
Right, but these guys, I mean, not so much Hangman Page, but like the Bucks and Kenny. Like at this point, I mean, no disrespect to Joe, but I mean, they're just they're bigger, right? Outside of WWE, they're bigger.
They're creating a bunch of hype. Until I'm right there with Rob. Until
don't say it.
No, not about the T-shirt.
Okay,
no.
thank you.
We're not focusing on the T-shirt part, Brian. Until they are great in a 15-minute little thing. Until they put out an hour, 2-hour show us content, not just in between the ropes. You have to entertain us to be a show like that. MMA does not entertain people. They want to watch a fight. They try to create as much as they can with a rivalry, but it's not like the stuff you can write here. The drama you can sell. If AEW does some writing well, I think it'll be great. If they have jump the shark moments, like TNA did a lot of times, it's going to hurt them.
Right.
So it just remains to be seen. And if they go low production and low storylines like Ring of Honor does, that only works in a touring show. It doesn't work in a television show. Would you agree with that? Like, Ring of Honor is a great live show to go see. Doesn't matter who's on the card. Doesn't matter what era. I've been to maybe half a dozen Ring of Honor shows. Never saw the same guys wrestle twice at any of these shows. Always enjoyed it. Thought it was great. But if you wanted me to analyze it, I got a couple one-sided pre-match promos. That was probably it in terms of storyline. Everything else was just in-ring wrestling. The matches stole the story, Brian, which is why I enjoyed the hell out of my time there. But there was no, like, you stole my belt, and now I'm going to take your career. There was nothing like that.
Well, I mean, now they have it.
I don't know why I went redneck on that.
They use storylines, through
this was
social
back.
media.
This was back when Shelton was there with
totally
WGT.
Different.
This is when Roddy and Austin were around. Hell, I saw the Dudleys in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Vince didn't believe in Joe because sure he was getting solid pay. That's back then, Bang Bus. What about now? What the fuck is Joe getting screwed over left and right now for?
He's not getting screwed over. It's storyline, brother.
Dude, he's getting screwed over out of pushes. If he won left and right and then just lost his opportunities at a belt or at the blow off, that's fine. But he doesn't win at all, Brian, at all. AEW ceiling could be WCW and it could be TNA. It's either going to be one out of the two. Cashmere said, "Well, shit, Cashmere. It's either going to be one that challenges WWE or it's going to be one that wasn't quite close enough." Yeah, you're right, Cashmere. Way to go out on a limb there, buddy.
I don't know if it's going to challenge them, but it's definitely going to be a place where WWE could have a problem keeping their employees, right?
Could they, Brian? They got more talent than they have airtime.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why they're going to have a problem keeping them in WWE because they're going to guys can go if you really want to work and you really want to, be in that business, then you don't want to just be sitting on the sidelines and watching all these other guys go out and do fucking whatever it is they do.
But I'm going to take just a business standpoint for a second. Okay. If I need 50 guys and I have 60 and 10 of them are interested in going somewhere else because I'm not giving them enough TV time because I really only need 50 to give TV time, guess what? Those 10 can go away. I'll bring 10 new guys in.
Okay, but what if those 10 are AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose?
If you
the revival,
if you do what you did in the Austin era, and not what you did in the Cena era, and build up multiple people and multiple storylines and multiple memorable moments and give them TV time. Do what we were just saying that Bucks are doing and that NXT is already doing, which not book these guys every week. Then everybody gets a piece of the pie, Brian. Okay, you and I can fight one week. Guess what? Kiera's going to escort Rob out, and they're going to beat the crap out of Medine next week, and you and I won't even be on TV. We might have a satellite interview. We might have a promo recap or even just a graphic that teases that you and I are fighting next week. Something that pushes the other people out there and gives them some exposure. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just a matter of how. How are you going to do it properly? Anything on the board?
Let's see.
And yes, SmackDown's FS1 bound. There's no way they'll get the ratings that we were talking about last night to stay on Fox.
Perfect 11 is saying that WWE losing some of their mid-lower card talent would be a godsend for them.
I agree.
True. Yeah, so do I.
And I think, remember, you and Rob were talking about who could benefit the most. Some of these guys could really benefit.
Zack Ryder.
Tyler Breeze.
Dolph Ziggler.
You know,
Ty Dillinger.
These guys go to AEW, and the grass is greener, and I think everybody benefits, really. WWE gets their roster trimmed. They get some real competition, so they are forced to step up. That's a win for the fans. We get some other choices in the big market, AEW. That's a win for the fans. The other big win for all the fans is all these indie, guess what, Brian? They don't just have to go to WWE now.
Right.
They have other options.
Sure.
Think about in other sports, when you're a basketball player, where do you go? After college, you got all these choices of where to go to college after your high school. But after that, you got one choice.
Arena Football League.
I mean, you can go play in Europe, Greece, wherever.
Or the AAF.
But you have one, if you want to live here, you have one choice. It's the NBA. You can be in their DL, Developmental League. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You got the NFL. You know, you have one big dog, and that's it. Like, you want to make big money as an athlete, you got just one choice here. When WCW was around, it was great because everybody, I thought, benefited from the competition. Think about the ratings war, the Monday Night War. It was a great time to be a wrestling fan. And it was bleeding over into everything in a pre-internet era day. I don't know. I long for that, and the feuds that could happen on social media. Everybody's playing nice right now. Have you noticed that? It's going to implode at some point.
They're playing nice just because, I mean, a lot of the guys that are and women that are in WWE and AEW, a lot of them are they've worked together.
But even others, like Emma. Emma's free agent between all of these people, right?
She's in Ring of Honor.
Right. But I mean, like, between WWE and AEW, she's a free agent. She's with Ring of Honor,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she's not with one of those two. She was out there going so proud of Sasha and Bailey, tagged them on Twitter and said,
sure,
blah, blah, blah. Like, broke kayfabe, obviously, in a way. But it was weird because she's talking about an event that they're promoting while she's working for a competitor.
Oh,
I mean, she left WWE to go to that competitor because she didn't like it's really weird.
It's very incestual.
Right. And at some point, there's going to be a breakdown. There's going to be you remember how there was rumors, Brett would always say, oh, I'm getting blackballed by the clique kind of thing. That's why he was never able to get where he was. Sean wouldn't drop the title, wouldn't put him over, wouldn't whatever. I don't know.
So you're saying Bret Hart is all elite wrestling?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
Anyway, we already have Bischoff's number. We should just give him a call.
Let's call Uncle Eric. It's California time over there.
Do you think that would be the next headline?
Bischoff?
That AEW? No.
What?
Not necessarily Bischoff, but a huge name like Bischoff, not Russo. Somebody there,
motherfucker,
to be in creative. Yes.
No.
You get somebody who is respected to join their creative booking. Pat Patterson, I know he's not active, but he has created what Pritchard says some of the best finishes of all time in wrestling matches, some of the most memorable ones. Yeah, why not? Bangba says Sting. What if Sting was backstage? What if Paulie? What if Paulie was backstage? I'm not talking about a character, Brian. I'm not talking about the character of Paul Heyman. I'm talking about the mind of Paul Heyman backstage. The mind of, if he were alive, a Dusty Rhodes backstage. I'm not talking about a public front of the house entity. I'm talking about a legit, Brian Gewirtz, something like that. I'm talking whatever. I never pronounce his name right. I don't even think he pronounced it right.
Yeah, but no, I mean those guys are just so from fucking yesteryear, man.
Oh yeah, and Bangbuster reminds us Eric will never work in AEW.
No.
Lethal Bucks, etc.
There was a time.
They left.
There was a time.
Because
remember right before, or I guess during, when Hogan and Bischoff, when they all went to TNA and changed it to Impact and all those.
They ruined it.
Yeah, there was a time when I remember Heyman was rumored to be. He was rumored to be one of the guys that could potentially come in and be that kind of creative mind to lead the ship. One of the things, though, that they were totally against was that he wanted to come in and build newer, younger stars where obviously Dixie Carter and Hogan and Bischoff, they all brought in the Steiners of the world.
The main event mafia.
Yeah, and just all the old-timers, and clearly that didn't work.
No.
I just always think about, imagine if Heyman had gone to – if that had happened and they negotiated a deal where he went in there and it just
look at what Heyman did when Heyman made stars in a Cena era that we're lucky that we saw them. Of course, you were going to get a Randy Orton in a Cena era. Randy's a generation guy, no question. But you got Edge, you got Eddie, you got Benoit, you got all these other guys that we probably never would have seen without Paulie and booking and creative at that time and helping push them. It's a rarity, and I hope everything is there. Perfect 11 says, Paulie teaches a masterclass in cutting promos every week. He shows up on Raw. His impact on AEW would be cosmic. I agree. I think somebody like that, and again, I don't believe Paulie has to go as the character and come out and do his shtick on air for AEW. Him being backstage, he was learning, Brian, from Dusty as a teenager.
Oh yeah.
This guy's been in the business since you and I were getting our license. Paulie could game change anything from a backstage perspective.
Well, he's got to get away from fucking doing the whole brunch.
I know, but I'm saying that's a blue chipper that
Sure.
that could make a game changer. That's not an in-ring game changer. That's not an AJ. That's not a Joe. It's nothing like that. Yeah. Perfect 11 says exactly. Have him as head of creative. I would do that. And Bang Bus agrees with you, Brian. Says TNA would still be a thing if Paul took over.
Yeah.
We're way off topic.
Totally are.
It was just fun to mark out, I guess, on a side topic. Yeah, you always get me off topic with the. Well, no, I think it starts with Dirt Sheet in general.
Yeah.
Because it's all such bullshit, and we do all this speculation, and then we wind up talking about Paul Heyman.
Duke the Dumpster Droese.
You're the one who brings up Duke the Dumpster Droese. Nobody else cares. All they want to hear is this.
Please listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Brian, final thought before we close it down. Board, if you have any, put them up there.
My final thought would have to be, I just want to see where they go with these NXT guys. I thought last night, I thought going into SmackDown, I thought maybe they would kind of clear the air a little bit, but now they just kind of confuse it even more, having them wrestle on both shows and saying that they're, they did so well last night that we're gonna. What did he say? Bring them up again for another night.
He said they did so well in their debuts on Raw last night that we're gonna bring him back tonight on SmackDown Live. Like, I invited him over, so we're gonna bring him back. Cameron said who? I think he said so. I invited him here, and then one of the announcers, I believe it was Corey, said so. We're gonna bring him back. Maybe I'm reading into the language too much or whatever,
Maybe.
But it begs the question. They added 4 of these guys there. EC3, Lacey, Nikki, Heavy Machinery are technically all still free agents too. Or are they just basically operating without a clue until they get to the fake teased Montreal Superstar shakeup after
it's not
Mania.
fake. It's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening.
It's the Raw after the Raw after Mania in April. Brian teased it for 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's still happening. But yeah, man, I want to know.
Do you think Kevin Owens is going to be champion at that one in Montreal?
No.
I think he's going to be champion in Montreal at that Superstar shakeup.
I don't.
I'm just putting that there.
So yeah, I just want to know what they're doing with the guys in NXT and what that means to the entire brand in NXT as well. If those guys indeed are gone.
Are you spoiler free?
I am. Yeah, I
So
don't read NXT spoilers.
we're gonna go in tomorrow night and find out what is. I know you said you're spoiler free, but you were also the one who told me that there's some big announcement. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get some answers and we'll talk more on Monday about the rest of that stuff. Rhodey will come back and take the seat again in the director's chair. Still wishing he had some of to talk about that. Roman killed his passion. Deep down, Rob, in my opinion, Brian took the chair back because Roman's gone.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's because Roman's gone. Roman would anger him. Roman would make him get too far off topic. He'd go on rants. He couldn't control the show because of his hatred. I think with Roman gone, he's back to the good side, and that's why he wanted to make that change.
Okay.
AEW should sign the Ascension and then sign Brian to manage them. That's final thought for Kashmir. It's a good one. Superstar Shake Show will be the Raw after Mania because of the crowd. Bangba says, no, I thought it was the Raw after the Raw. Adam sucks at the WWE porn game. Vice says, check the fucking tape, bitch. I'm 2-0.
It's true. No. I say it's true that you suck.
Oh, well, nobody cares what you think.
Yeah.
In any event, tune in next week. It's been a great episode, Brian, tonight of Smackdown with you.
And Smackdown.
We
Solid
got
episode.
We got a twofer.
Solid episode.
Great reaction. Great episode. We'll be back next week. Same Smart time. Same Smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
It's still